What is up? Welcome back to another video. Logan Romney here with the Creative Hunter. I'm going to run you through today my rifle setup, but I also have a brand new scope that I'm going to be putting on today. So I'm going to run you guys through that. I'm going to go shoot it and kind of show you guys the rundown. I've got these new scope rings from RPM. I actually have them on this gun right now, but I needed a different size for this new scope, and I'll run you through all this new stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. We're going with a lighter weight scope. Same brand, Hawke Optics is who I'm using for scopes, and some binoculars and stuff, and I love these scopes. This scope has been on this gun for almost just over a year now, and it's killed quite a few animals, shot some stuff at long distances, short distances, everything in between, and it's been sweet. This rifle that I've got right here is the Alpine CT from Weatherby. It's the model 307, and this thing's been sweet. I have a different brake on here from Twin Peaks Machining. This is I think they call it the Rattlesnake brakes is the name of their brakes. These aren't in full production yet, so I was testing these out for them. Might be working with them in the future when they start manufacturing those. So, but I wouldn't say it's any different necessarily, other than it is a lot lighter than the factory brake that comes with the rifle. It's a 3-baffle brake, screws on, and it has the self-timing and everything. But this is on the Peak 44 stock, so this is what it comes with, super lightweight carbon fiber stock. And then on the front of here, on this is the bipod I have is from Hatch Out West. They're actually out of my hometown of Preston, Idaho. They build them there, ship them out, and I bought this one this year to use on my rifle. And I have it on the Peak 44 Arca pick mount plate right here. So I have a Arca Swiss plate and then also a pick rail. So my bipod is actually on the pick rail. And this is cool about this bipod is it folds forward, it folds backwards if you're walking through brush or something. And then when you're ready to deploy the legs, all you got to do is pull the legs out. Wherever you stop, they lock in as far as all the way out. It locks in, and then you just pull this little lever at the bottom and they slide back in. So it's super cool. So if you're trying to get set up in a hurry, you just like boom, boom, wherever you need to be. If you're laying down, you need to go a little higher on that side. You pull it down a little bit. It's pretty cool. So highly recommend that bipod. They're sweet. But I'm going to pop this scope off, and we're going to put the new scope on. I want to do some weight stuff, though, so I have a scale here that I'm going to weigh a few things. I'm going to weigh this scope. So this scope is from Hawke Optics. It's the new scope. It is the Mountain Hunter. The whole thing is the LRX Hunter FD 18 power. So it's a 3 to 18 power scope. It does have a turret on top. So I love these because you just pop it up and you can twist it to whatever MOA you want to be at, and then you can just click it down and it locks wherever you have it. So if you lock it at 0, it's at 0. It won't twist until you pop the thing up, pop that dial up, and then you can twist it, pop it down, it locks in. So this is a 30 millimeter scope. That's why I need to get some new rings, because this scope I have on here right now from Hawke is the Frontier. It is a 3 to 18 power as well, but it's a little bit bigger objective, a little bit bigger. So I think it's a 34 millimeter diameter for the scope ring mounts. And this one is built more for, I would say, like competition shooting. You can also hunt. I mean, obviously I've hunted with it a bunch, but it has all the hash marks inside and all the dots for MOA if you're doing holdovers or holding left and right for wind. I don't really need it. I don't really use that ever. I don't shoot competition stuff, although I think it'd be cool. I don't do it. Whereas this Mountain Hunter scope just has your regular hash mark, and then it has a couple hashes underneath the reticle. This new one is, I believe it is second focal plane. I get these mixed up all the time. Obviously, I'm not like a professional with these things, but basically with this scope, you zoom in and out, the reticle just stays the same with your zoom. Whereas with the scope that's on here right now, when you zoom in and out, the hash marks get smaller and bigger as you zoom in and out. So basically each hash mark on this scope on the rifle is 1 MOA no matter where you're zoomed in or out. This scope that I'm about to mount on, the Hunter, is when you zoom in and out, those hash marks don't move. So if you're zoomed out, they don't mean the same thing when you're zoomed in. I hope that makes sense. If you want to learn more about stuff like that, first focal plane, second focal plane scopes, you should look it up, watch videos from guys who know what they're talking about. I'm also not going to really give a tutorial necessarily on how to swap a scope or to mount a scope onto a rifle, but I wanted to show you guys these scope rings because they're sweet. These are from RPM. So I have a set on this scope right now, and then this is the set that I'm going to be throwing on with a new scope. Just got these in the mail not even 20 minutes ago, but I wanted to make this video. So these are sweet. What's cool about these scope rings is this built-in level right here. So you can see the level is actually built into the bottom of the scope ring. What that does is it allows you to, as soon as you mount this onto your gun, if that bubble's level, your gun is level. And all you got to do is level your scope to your gun. And then when you're ready to shoot your gun, all you got to do is glance over, check that your bubble's level, look back in the scope, and you're good to go. It's in like the perfect spot. So I've got my new scope rings here to mount on. I'm going to take this scope off, and then I will weigh each scope next to each other with the scope rings on them, and then we'll mount this new scope on and get it all set up. If you are working on your own rifle and scope, it's important that you have the torque specs right. So I got this Wheeler torque screwdriver, so I can just set the torque to whatever it needs to be at, and it's right every time, which is really nice because you don't want to over tighten or under tighten anything on your scope because it can actually cause some big problems. I do have this sunshade on, but I'm going to take it off for the sake of this video. So this is bare bones scope with the scope rings without any scope caps or anything. We're going to weigh this, and we're doing pounds and ounces. So this is 1 pound, 15 ounces for this scope and scope ring setup. Let's see what this one should be quite a bit lighter. I've got my scope rings here. We're going to set the scope on there. This one is 1 pound, 8 ounces. So 8-ounce difference in these two scopes. That's a fair amount. I don't know if that's necessarily a noticeable amount of weight difference or weight savings, but this scope is quite a bit smaller in comparison, just a little bit more ergonomic for a hunting situation, whereas this one's really more built for shooting competitions and long-range stuff. So this will be a little bit better of a scope, just more streamlined, a little bit better for hunting stuff. Alright, that scope looks pretty freaking cool already. Got this thing mounted real low, so it should be good. Yeah, it actually feels really good. It looks level already. Obviously I'm going to check that. Just barely got this package in the mail. And I think it's a Fox Pro for calling coyotes and wolves. Oh yeah. There we go. I'm going to call some coyotes in with this bad boy. So when you get this scope, like I said, this is the Mountain Hunter. It comes with a few things I wanted to show you real quick. It does come with a extension for like a sun, for the sun. So some people like to run these. I actually like to have these on because sometimes I've shot into the sun without these, and it literally almost makes it impossible to see. And I don't mind having that little bit extra length on my scope. It doesn't bug me. It doesn't get in the way, but that's up to you. It also has a few things. It's got like some stickers. It has some QR codes for instruction manuals and things like that if you ever lose them. Comes with a cleaning cloth, which is like it's a big cleaning cloth, which is sweet. And then obviously the instruction manuals and all that. And then, like I was talking about before, the scope caps that are clear scope caps to go on the rifle. I don't think the scope caps really are going to fit with the extension on. You might be able to, but they're not. I guess it's not really made to have that extra 4 or 5 inches on the end of the scope. One other thing this does come with is a little post that sticks out of the zoom lever, or the zoom, so it's like a little zoom lever, so it just makes it easier to zoom in and out. I hate not having a zoom lever because they're always so tight and they're slippery, and I can never like get a grip on something on the scope to zoom it in and out if I don't have that lever. But with lever, you just push it super easy and it goes in and out. Because I'll usually have it zoomed out all the time, and then until I get on an animal, and once I'm on it, I'm just gonna zoom it in real quick, and it's just a little easier to shoot when that scope's zoomed in all the way. So I got that scope extender on there for the sun, block the sunlight coming in. I think that looks pretty good. I'm excited to go shoot this. A little cold and windy today. I don't know if we'll get out there today or here in the next few days, but it's all gonna be in the same video. So let's go shoot this gun, see how it does. All right, guys, I am out at the range right now, out in the desert, and we're gonna shoot some clay pigeons here at 100 yards. Someone has some set up. I'm just gonna shoot them. My buddy's here, Jordan. He's setting up a target at about 400. He's gonna shoot his gun too. So I'm gonna get sighted in here at 100 yards, and then once Jordan gets back, we're gonna shoot a little bit farther here. So let's get some shots through this thing, get the scope dialed in. Hopefully it's pretty close already, and all we have to do is make a couple adjustments. So let's see how it goes. I'm actually using this Plano gun case as a rest. You can see right now, laying on it, and it's like perfect for this. So pretty sweet. Like dead steady. All right, not quite on yet. All right, we were super high on that one, so we're gonna go and go down. Try that, and then we were also gonna go to the right a little bit because we were a little bit left. So we just take this thing 2 inches to the right. Okay, let's give this one more shot. All right, we're a lot closer there. We're gonna go down just a little bit more, and then we're gonna take it to the right just a little bit more, and we should be pretty much set right there. Third shot through here. We should be pretty dialed. Money. That was a perfect shot. Gonna shoot 1 or 2 more clay pigeons out here, see if they're on, and then we'll shoot out to 400 yards and see how this thing is shooting out to distance.
Well, I don't see any clay pigeons where you shot, so you must have hit it.
Yeah, we nailed that one. Sweet. All right, we're gonna shoot some longer distance now. Out to, where'd you put that target? 400?
Yep.
400 yards. All right, we are just finishing up out here at the range. We shot at 100. I was dialed in, shot at 400. I was a little off. I realized after my ballistic calculator was set to 0 at 200, but I actually just barely zeroed at 100, so it was a little off because of that. Got that fixed. My gun is zeroed at 200 now, and shot to 400. Elevation's great. Windage is a little bit off. We're gonna shoot 500 real quick. Jordan just moved the target, so we'll see how elevation and windage is at 500, and if it's not perfect tonight, it's okay. We got a little bit of a breeze. I'm not too worried about it being perfect right now. I have until like April at the earliest that I'm gonna really shoot this rifle, other than maybe some like coyote hunting. So I've got time to make sure it's dialed in later. But the goal today was really just get the gun sighted in roughly. We got it sighted into 200. Shot it to 400. We're gonna shoot to 500. That's a pretty good kind of test to see if it's close to on. And then here in the next few months, we'll shoot some more and make sure this thing's dead on. So thanks for watching. This gun is pretty sweet setup with this new scope on here, the Hawke Hunter, and then the RPM scope rings. I love this thing. Definitely would recommend it to anyone. Beginner hunter, these scopes are not the most expensive scopes. They're not the highest end. Like, this is just a scope. It gets the job done. It has the locking turret. You can do windage if you need to. It's got hash marks in the scope. It does have an illuminating reticle. It just puts a red dot in the middle, which is sweet, and comes with everything you need. So check out this Hawke scope. Check out these RPM scope rings. These are the best scope rings on the market. And then the Weatherby rifles. Can't go wrong with the Weatherby. So check it out. We'll see you guys in the next video.